we work with the reflection. So anything we see in the world energetically is a reflection of our own frequency. It's impossible for anything to enter your life that is not an exact reflection of the frequency within you. It's not that you behave in the same way. So if a murderer, comes up to you and have a conversation, you find out he's a murderer. It's not that you're a murderer, but you do carry that frequency and you express it differently. We all carry that frequency. It's very naive and arrogant for people to kind of think that the Satanists and child molesters and politicians who should be lumped in with the same politicians, rapists, pedophiles. It kind of has a nice ring to it. So we like to kind of draw the line and say them over there, they're different and they're very sick. But we're breathing and living that consciousness as well. And those frequencies too, we're not separate from them. It's the ego that likes to separate. So already we've had a number of people who've probably closed this video because their ego is already instantly challenged. It's like, no, I'm different. I'm a light worker and I heal people. So in the coming weeks or months, I feel that at the start of the year, I said that September was going to be a turning point. And I feel that we're in September. And I've gone through a lot of stuff over the last few weeks, and certainly in the last week, 5 days ish. My perception of what I am or what this place is has changed fundamentally, quite deeply, which I'll discuss more in the coming weeks and months. And in doing that, I lose a percentage of followers or subscribers because, in a sense, I've taken people to a junction, to as far as they're able to go and as far as they're willing or ready to see of what's behind this corner. And then there will be new people who will join and who will come in who are ready to go around that corner. They're at the point where they're ready to go into the next leg or next stage. So with that change from September, there will be, I would foresee more chaos in the world. More chaos in the world for the people who invest in the chaos, if that makes sense. So for those of you who've worked with me, people who followed my work or come to the Sunday Zooms, which I think I really enjoy, I think are great, is that in this work, we have the potential and ability to observe what's unfolding in the world. Whereas the rest of the world gets sucked into it. I'm not saying that anyone who doesn't listen to my videos gets sucked into it, but there's obviously a huge percentage that got sucked into the flu, the vaccines, and all that circus. So we're now in September. I think I wrote my posts about the eye of the needle around November of last year. We're coming up close to a year. I still totally subscribe to that. The eye of the needle. If we focus and if we're integrating, we find our way through the eye of the needle. We find our way through. I found my way through multiple lockdowns and restrictions and temperature checks and all that kind of shit to this place in Mexico. Never been approached by any police about masks or vaccines or any of that kind of thing. We find our way through. Now, I've had my challenges, but if we're focusing on our reflection and on us, we can do something. We can physically change the outside world. That doesn't make sense to anyone. There's a couple of videos on my channel, benefits of shadow work and benefits of shadow work part 2. And both of those give multiple examples from other people of how integrating their stuff, the people around them changed and their circumstances changed. So more and more for me, I don't really have any interest in the flu, don't have interest in lockdowns or vaccine passports or that kind of thing. My work really, and a lot of my hours in my day, most of my hours in my day is doing my own inner work, my meditation, writing and reading around of how I can integrate faster, how I can, disempower that little voice. That's the coming months, is stepping away from the mind as much as possible. completely if possible. I haven't yet come across any benefit in having mindless chatter. I don't see any use in it at all. I see use in thinking about what I'm going to have for dinner. That's constructive thought. I don't see any use in this at all. Yeah, so that's the direction I'm going. And a lot of people won't want to go in that direction because they want to feel, which is their ego. People want to feel like they have some control, want to feel like they have some power. Hey, we can fight back. We can change the world. Not really interested in that. I'm interested in my own peace of mind. And it seems to me, which is fucking bizarre, because the world will tell you all these other things, all the spiritual movements and this conspiracy movement are telling you, get out, we got to fight, we got to step in, we got to this XYZ, we got to change the world. What I'm seeing is the more I integrate me and the more I move into who or what I am, which I don't know the answers to that, the more at peace I become, the more empowered I become, the more I feel untouchable. Yeah, I see more chaos unfolding in the coming months, and I see that it's wringing out the addiction. I talked in another video on that I'm not sure if I've put online or going to put online, but we're seeing a lot of addiction in the world. People fucking totally addicted to social media and addicted to the chemicals and the energy of other people. There's two sides to that. There's the addiction of social media, which is a distraction from our own feelings. People who are very busy, have to go to work, have to clean the house, have to go to yoga, have to run a marathon, have to go to work again, have to just busy, have to be on social media, busy, busy, busy. So all of that is to distract ourselves from our own internal awakening. It's the ego trying not to awaken because the ego knows that it will get smaller the more we awaken. But the other side of that world is the people who are addicted to the energy of others. So, there's a huge movement of social media that wants the energy because they're addicts. They're black holes, people who are fucking dying. So if you're dying and you get on social media, maybe you can get some food. Maybe you can get some nutrition from other beings of, oh, I love you, well done, keep going, whatever the fuck it may be. Likes, shares, all that kind of stuff. So there's a big movement of that because the world is dying. People are dying. So you have spiritual people, smart people who are fucking dying, don't really know anything else. They don't know how to integrate or witness themselves. So the next best thing they have is the option from the ego, which is go online and feed from other beings. So that's a common thread as well. But what we're seeing out in the world is people really struggling with what's happening. And also what I'm seeing is before any of this happened, I lived in my car for 4 years. I was in fucking hell. I went through hell. That if I ever write an autobiography, the thought for the name of the book, which is very indulgent and egotistical, was going to be The Long, Slow Road Out of Hell, because that's what it's been. Many years of I've been meditating for fucking nearly 30 years. Reading spirituality books for fucking 20 odd years, trying to work my way through this. So before Corona and all this shit happened, I was in hell. When Corona happened, I was well on my way out of hell. I'm fucking doing well. I got some peace going on, and I have a toolkit, which is fucking more important. I'll exchange the peace any day of the week for the toolkit, because with the toolkit, I can get peace back within minutes, maybe hours if I need to, if I'm heavily in trouble or in a lot of shit. But I know how to work my way back to peace of mind. I don't need the right partner. I don't need the right apartment or money or these things. These things come to me. Of course, we need these things to live. Or do we? That's where I'm going in the coming weeks or months. How true is that statement? Oh, you need accommodation. Well, I lived in a car. People live in doorways. People live on the streets. You need money. People beg. There's other ways to get money. So it's that little voice that's highly questionable. And more in the coming weeks and months, I'd like to move away from more and more and more. And that will challenge people because of that identity. So the struggle in the world that we're seeing, this is what I want to say, is that to be very black and white, but within the black and white, there's lots of different factions and tribes and groups who know each other. Some of us know each other. You remember me. You remember my voice or my eyes, or sometimes if you're cleaning the kitchen or making food and one of my videos are on, there's something in you that recognizes me. And at times there's something in me that recognizes you. If I see someone who's liked a fucking article or post or commented on a video or whatever, and I can I encounter their name or face and I realize I know that person. Even though I can't breathe. So the split, the black and white split, is the mob, and I include the spirituality Instagram group in that as well, the mob of who need to feed and who are feeding off fear and panic. And as the world gets worse, they will panic more because it has to be wrung out of us. You have to reach the end of the road. You can't skip a stage. I'm alcoholic, I'm a drug addict, and I'm sober 20 something years. So I can't skip that. You know, my teens, you can't remove alcohol and go, I skipped being a drunk. I skipped being a drug addict. I've beat it. No, it's still within you. It just hasn't been exhausted. It needs to run its course. So many in the world are running the course of addiction, and thus they ain't going to the new world. They're not going to a higher frequency. They're not able for it. They wouldn't be able to integrate it. So those who maybe took the multiple jabs, how many is it up to now, 15 or 16 or whatever it may be, or those who are just in the story of the world, they're going to a different place. It's cool. That's their journey. I ain't going to that place. Been there before, done with it, exhausted it. I'm going to go someplace different. Some of you are coming this place down this road too. That's cool. I don't know who's going where. It's none of my business, your business. I'm not really interested. I'm interested in my own peace of mind. I'm interested in feeling good, trying to enjoy my life and enjoy this work. Anyone else's stuff is their stuff. Yeah, the only other thing is that as we go forward now from September, it's important to focus more and more internally on us, more and more and more. So if you've turned off the news and you're drifting away from that, like I think now in the coming months, because it will affect our equilibrium. It will affect our frequency. It will affect what we integrate. It will affect the direction or the pace of wherever we're going through that eye of the needle. Do you want to be diverted into cul-de-sacs of, I don't know, vaccine chaos and good and evil? And I'm just tired of all that stuff, which is a fucking good place to be. And I'm grateful that I'm in this place. You know, the good and evil, God and Satan, all of this stuff. I don't care anymore. It needs to be burned out of us. So to focus more and more on the higher place, on your own frequency and what it needs. You might need more food. You might need meat. You might need more sunshine. You might need more exercise. Tomorrow, you might need 5 meals. Each meal might require meat. The next day, you might not eat at all. That's what I'm going through at the moment. I wake up and I'm hungry. Normally, I don't eat till 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I wake up now 7 a.m. and I need to eat. So just to be in tune rather than being in your routine, fucking abandon the routine. Abandon whatever it is you do. Let those things break down. Whatever your belief system is, whatever you're attached to. I believe spirituality is this. Fucking put that shit in the bin. Don't worry about it. Follow your own guidance of where you need to go. Get your routine. Follow that path and learn and feel what's integrating and what's working, what's taking you to a higher place. Thanks for listening. Thanks for recent donations. Brock, I'm very grateful. Thank you. And you can buy me a coffee. There's the links below. Thanks for being here. That's it. Be well.